We continue to follow breaking news here at the CBS News Broadcast Centre. I'm Errol Barnett. Just yesterday at St. Peter's Square, it was filled with people celebrating Easter. And this morning, a much different scene. The same location filled with the Catholic faithful mourning the death of Pope Francis at age 88. He died earlier this morning. At this moment, we want to bring in Archbishop William Lori from the Archdiocese of Baltimore for more on this. Our condolences to you, Archbishop, but share with us your reaction to this news.
Thank you so much. I was very saddened to learn of the death of Pope Francis. I think we all admired the great courage with which he fought his recent illness. I think we were all hoping that maybe the Lord would give him more time with us. But I also thought it was so very, very beautiful that yesterday he made this appearance before the Catholic faithful. I think he wanted to be with the people he served so devotedly one more time. And I think that was so characteristic of Pope Francis' pastoral style and his desire to be close to the people.
Tell me more about why you think Pope Francis insisted on seeing people, meeting those in public, despite doctors' orders to refrain from interactions, considering his frail state of health.
Pope Francis was a pastor at heart, and a pastor is one who loves and cares for his people, and above all wants to be with them, wants to accompany them. And I think in his calculations, being with the people was more important than following the doctor's orders. I could imagine that maybe he was not the world's easiest patient to care for, because he had this great determination to serve the church and God's people come what may. I think that's what we saw yesterday. And I think that's why there is such great affection for Pope Francis all around the world. He really is and really was a good shepherd.
And we're seeing that affection translated in statements from world leaders all over the place, the royal family there in England, and King Charles and Queen Camilla, current President Trump, former President Biden. It's also a moment to look back at legacy and aspects of the church that Pope Francis was and was not able to change. I know that in Baltimore there had been many issues with sexual abuse and criticisms of the church that didn't do enough to protect people. What's your perspective on that topic and the change that Pope Francis tried to bring?
Pope Francis worked very, very diligently to address the terrible specter of sexual abuse. I think as bishops here in the United States, we felt his support as we tried to deal with this. And as we continue to take measures, as we have now for several decades, to eradicate this terrible thing from our ranks and to address the hurt and the scandal that are the aftermath of such terrible betrayals. I think he is also, I think one of the landmarks of his papacy will be his provision to hold to account church leaders that have not dealt with this specter of sexual abuse in accord with the norms of both justice and charity. So I really do think that Pope Francis advanced greatly the church's response to this. And I hope that we'll continue to build on this in the years ahead.
I want to ask you more about that, because Pope Francis is credited for convening a church sex abuse summit. He issued new procedures for sex abuse reporting, toughened punishments for abuse as well. So what do you want to see the next Pope do in addition to what Pope Francis laid out?
I think that, first of all, I think Pope Francis is addressing this problem not simply in a single diocese or a single country, but across the globe. And I think one of the things that I think all of us would like to see is the continuation of the good work of the commission that he started, and to see the hard work of eradicating this terrible thing across the globe, and the ensuring of good policies throughout the church to address this. I think these are really important things that we need to see as we go forward.
And we know you've had the pleasure of having met Pope Francis, and you'll be hosting a memorial mass tonight. We really appreciate you spending some time with us this morning, Archbishop William Lori in Baltimore. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.